I'm sorry. I know how you guys feel about your dogs, but Chris, same.
Bentley and Chris.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste of Reality. We are reviewing Married at First Sight Season 12, Episode 12. Child, have the true colors come out. Woo! Baby, okay? Before we get into it, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a video. And I will be very expressive with this hand because I only have one hand, so I kind of have to overcompensate in my mind. I know I don't really have to, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So yeah, don't worry about that. Let's get into the review. So we're gonna start with Brianna and Vincent because literally what can you say about them? There's not much to say. They are just adorable.
If I win, I get $500.
Golly, I was only gonna ask for 1,000.
Luckily, soon we'll be sharing bank accounts, okay?
I love that they've been able to find their groove in this experiment. It's not just a lust thing. It's not just, let's just make it work just to make it work. They're genuinely finding a way to meld themselves into each other's lives and to make this marriage work. One of the main reasons why it works is Brianna mentioned how she had to let go of expectations and accept Vincent as the man that she needs.
I mean, he's more than I could have asked for. Because, I've never had anybody that was just sweet to me. So when that person you need comes along, you'll know.
In a lot of cases, that's the downfall of these couples. You come in with all these expectations, and the reality is the more expectations you put on the experiment, the more you're setting yourself up for disappointment and inadvertently failure. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like this for them. This is a good stride that they're on right now. I'm sure they'll have a tip here and there about some small thing, but clearly they've proven to be able to come to an understanding and find a way to move on past it. So our MVPs, y'all. I mean, what can you say about them? There's nothing bad you could say. I love it. I love it. Next up, we have Haley and Jacob. They have agreed to do yet another reset.
Like I said before, be positive, see what happens. She loves a good belly rub.
Be jealous.
They're trying to focus more on having fun and not being so hung up on the serious, which can be good in the beginning. They will eventually have to tackle those things later on, but I feel like for the sake of building attraction, building intimacy, building some kind of for each other, this is a good step. And go-karting went well for them. And then comes the conversation at dinner where everything went stale.
I feel like I've interrogated you all night. Well, do you have any questions for me?
Last concert you went to?
They've both acknowledged that their communication is off, their humor is off, and they just haven't been able to find a happy medium so they both understand each other. And that is the biggest thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're not attracted to somebody, the worst thing they can do is get on your nerves. And that's what, what's his name? That's what Jacob does a lot. He finds every opportunity to snuff a good moment, and it's oh, what's the point of trying? You know what I mean? When you think back to Jamie and Doug first season, the thing that really, really, really helped Jamie was that Doug tried. Doug was making every effort to be like, okay, I know you don't find me attractive, but I'm going to show you the characteristics within myself that are intriguing to you, and we're gonna find a way to fall in love with each other even though initial attraction wasn't there. Look at them now. So Jacob, of course this is a retroactive statement because this has already been filmed, but oh my guy, please just try a little harder. Man, we are moving through this quickly. Okay, so Paige and Chris. Paige has finally come to terms with her skewed perception of marriage.
Maybe I've fallen in love with the idea of marriage so much that I lost myself in this process.
The reality is a lot of Christian women have this perspective. As a Christian woman, I would know. We find a way, not find a way, we've been socialized to idolize marriage, to put it on to put it on a pedestal and make it seem like marriage is the end all and be all of life, when in reality, the Bible doesn't promise you a husband. The Bible doesn't promise you marriage. All the Bible promises you is submit to the Lord and salvation. Those are the only things, okay? Submit to God and salvation. Those are the only things that are guaranteed for you in life. A marriage and a husband, not guaranteed. So this idolizing of marriage, it's very archaic. But in as much as I want to believe her come to Jesus moment, her realization of her faults in trying to work it out with Chris, I saw a clip on Instagram of Decision Day, and I'm triggered all over again.
I think that we're undecided.
No, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. I'm being very honest with you.
I can't give you a decision, and she can't give you a decision either.
You can't want for someone what they don't want for themselves. That's the reality for Paige. And until she really is like, I'm calling it quits, there's no point busting our heads over these two. So we're moving on. Oh, I forgot to mention Chris's talk with his mother. She also has me triggered. She says that she's sad, but she's not surprised about the demise of their relationship. But you have been the one excusing all of his bad behavior, like from the beginning. So forgive me if I find it hard to believe that you're sad about the downfall of these two. I don't buy it. I feel like all his life, he's been able to get away with things scot-free, and that's why he acts the way he does. He also has a skewed perception of Christianity and how, well, if you just come to God after every mistake, you'll be fine. Yes, that is true. However, it's not an excuse to keep perpetuating your bad behavior just because you're like, oh, God knows my heart. Yes, he does. But he also wants you to try. He also wants you to put in an effort. So, again, not busting my head. I'm moving on. I am moving on. Clara and Ryan, they are trying to build their intimacy, and this week the attempt is through tantric yoga.
I would understand why tantric yoga would help build a sexual connection, but this hasn't further developed our connection, in my opinion.
It didn't work. And it wasn't gonna work. Her obsession with sex is like, okay, all right, we get a frustration, but this is like obsession, my girl. And you already said sex don't mean nothing to you, so what does it matter to wait? But also him, it's like, if you're doing everything but the sex, like it's all still sex, whether it's oral, whether it's anal, sorry to be graphic, but it's still sex. So intercourse is not much to, I just don't get it. Ryan is somehow keen on getting to know Miska, the dog, and trying to find ways to communicate with her better and find a way to bond with the dog, but doesn't make the same effort for Clara.
How do I speak the language of dog and Miska to make sure she feels comfortable?
Kind of funny that he really wants to be able to navigate Miska, but he just doesn't want to navigate me.
This is why it is important for him to share this mental checklist that he has in order to fall in love, which still boggles my mind, because if you have never been in love, if you've never experienced love personally, what is going to validate your checklist? Your checklist hasn't worked before. So what is going to be different this time? And then for you to acknowledge that you have a checklist, but you don't want to share it with your partner, how are they going to know that they're on the right track to helping you fall in love with them? And then, I can't. And then in a turn of events, he says, oh, he's the best to ever do it. He is the best of all the married, as 90%. Was it 90% of the married at first sight couples in general?
Not to make this about me, but I feel like I've done an incredible job of being a husband. And I truly believe the relationship between Clara and I has been better than 99% of the people that have been married at first sight.
Now, if your counterpart is frustrated with your partnership, are you really doing that great? Or is he not aware? No, he must be aware that she's frustrated. He knows she's aware that she's frustrated. So the fact that he really thinks like, yeah, my sound advice is going to be the best. Oh, the man who's never been in love. Yeah, everybody should come to get advice from me. Oh, the one whose wife is all but ready to swing. Like, he's so special. I love him. He's so unique. And then there's another and then, y'all. He says that their trust has grown. But now, even though their sex talk is really like aggravating me, her argument is valid. You cannot tell me that you're okay with everything but in and out intercourse. Like, you already have a sexual relationship. Do you know how frustrating it is to get to that point with somebody and for them to be like, every time, That could be translated to her as a rejection. She hasn't said that explicitly, I don't remember, but that's how I would take it. You're able to do everything else with me. I get you off every morning, but you can't go all the way with me? Especially when you've gone all the way with people before? That doesn't make sense. I don't want to say that there's something off with him, but like, the sense is not sensing. It's not making sense. There's something that's not adding up, and I don't know why. Is it the Christianity? Is it maybe he's not that into Clara as we think? Somebody's got to figure it out, because if they don't, they're not going to make it. Our last couple is Erik and Virginia, and y'all, I have never been so triggered by a man on this show, except for maybe like Brett and that other guy, the really, really tall guy who was married to the girl who was a twin. Those two men really did trigger me too. But Erik is so condescending, and I don't even think he hears it.
Well, he's not your dog, so. He's half mine now, whether you like it or not. Unless you want to end this right now.
He's able to make comparisons about him and Virginia and how they are the same as their dogs, yet for some reason he's unable to see how he is controlling and overbearing and almost wants to train Virginia. I'm sorry, Virginia is not a child. Virginia is not an animal. She has the right to her own opinions. She has the right to her own actions. And even though at the beginning I was always side-eyeing Virginia, as of late, Erik is just showing me too many red flags for me to be on his side. I can't. Virginia, my heart is aching for this girl. And then he's gonna say, oh, it's just a dog. Okay, well, if it's just a dog, why are you upset saying that the dog is coming between your relationship? I thought it was just a dog. And you know it's not just a dog, because you are always talking about how good your dog is. And you know how much this dog means to Virginia. So not only are you attacking the dog, you're attacking Virginia. For a man who's done this before, who's mature, who knows how things should go, he's missing the mark on all fronts. It really bothers me how he uses protection as a guise to disguise his controlling nature. It really bothers me because he'll say something that's like, I want you to be this specific way in order for me to be with you. But then his excuse is, I'm just looking out for you. I'm just trying to protect you. No, you want me to morph into whatever image you had of the wife that you want to be married to. And realistically, that's not going to happen. I am not docile. I am not a doormat. I'm not going to just fit into your mold just to make this work.
Only that.
Please don't.
You know what? Right.
I feel like I'm drowning. Literally.
Why? What's wrong?
It's going to have to be a compromise. And she has said this before. He says compromise a lot, but realistically, he wants her to do things his way or he's done. He's done. How many times has he said, well, if you don't do this, then you can go. Then you can't be with me. Then you can leave. Oh, shut up. In their talk to reconcile, like, I want so badly to believe him, but he takes 2 steps forwards and like 17 back. It's so frustrating to watch. And then I'm sorry, I say and then a lot, but and then he requires so much from her, but I'm not seeing him reciprocating what she requires from him. He's like, in order to be with me, you need to be XYZ. All right, but Virginia has said that there's some things that I'm looking for too, and you haven't fulfilled that. So why are you always mad at me when you're faltering as well? You're not perfect here.
Nothing more than a complete ass to me and everyone that's been involved in today. Every single person you have. You. Everything on me always. Enjoy it.
You're not without fault by any means. And just the way that he's, I don't like it. This is a lot of red flags. I need the ex-wife to come and tell us what was the reason why they broke up, because I feel like she's got some stories. Like, my psych brain can't help but to, and this is why you should never study psychology, because you always want to analyze everybody. But he is fearful avoidant and she is anxious avoidant. It oozes off of the both of them. They're both avoidant. They both have avoidant attachment theories for sure. He has this whole end of the world way of looking at things, and she has a very anxious tone to her being. And she acknowledges it too. When she's talking to the girls, she opens up about how she needs to go to therapy for her anxiety, and how Erik doesn't understand her mental health struggles. I do like that she wants to do this for herself. I think it is long overdue, because even before on the matchmaking special, she does talk about her issues with anxiety and all of that stuff, the way that she was raised, how that's affected her with abandonment, her fear of divorce, all of that stuff. So at least she has found now her voice in being able to say, I need help with this, and I'm going to need to seek professional help because what I've been doing isn't working. What I would like to see is an unfiltered opinion of what the experts think of this relationship. There's no way they approve. There's no way. And I need let me try to still make you feel good, but still give you the raw truth. No. I need completely unfiltered, not caring about feelings, not caring about whatever. I need them to really dissect this relationship and tell us how they feel, because there's no way they approve of this. That is the end of the review, y'all. Oh man, it's so triggering. I'm so triggered by Erik. I can't. And Jacob, the two of them. How did y'all find these people? It's too much. Guys, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next week for another review.